Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a worth the buy or nah foundation review on Kokie. I think that's what it's called. Kokie Professional Makeup. A lot of you guys have actually requested me to try their products. So I went on to their website to see where I could find them, and it said Walgreens or like Rite Aid or something like that. And honestly, Maryland's Rite Aids, Walgreens never have anything, just to be honest. Like all the new stuff, all the cool stuff, it's never there until like years later. So I went ahead and just ordered it on the Kokie website, and I purchased the Skin Perfect HD foundation, which looks like this. And I also purchased the Transform Mix foundation mixer, which is like a, I want to say, oh, actually no, I thought this was a primer. This is a like an actual mixer. So you mix this with the foundation, and it gives it a velvety matte finish without compromising the quality, wear, or color of your foundation. So that's actually really cool. So we'll have to try this, and maybe I can also use this for other foundations if it does work for me. So I already went ahead and moisturized. I used my First Aid Beauty moisturizer, which is this one right here. So now we're gonna move on to our primer. So today for primer, I'm going to be using my Milani Prime Shield, like we've been using the past few times. And we're just gonna put this on the back of my hand, kind of like warm it up, and then warm it up with my fingertips, and then start to just put it all over our skin. I made sure to moisturize really well because it is very cold here in Maryland. I need to make sure that I get all the hydration possible so that all the products after moisturizer lay really nice on my skin. And this Milani primer is the matte primer. They do have two primers, one for a more luminous finish, and then this one's more for a matte finish. Okay, so now we're gonna be diving into the foundation and the makeup mixer. So it says to use this makeup mixer by adding 1 to 2 drops of mixer to the foundation and blend it well. You customize the intensity of the matte finish by adding more drops of the mixer if needed. So we're gonna go ahead and take the foundation. It does come with a pump, and we're just going to, hopefully some comes out soon. There we go, I feel it coming. Okay. So this is what it looks like. It's definitely a runny consistency. And this is a mid-coverage natural finish, and it offers a weightless, high-definition perfection in every light. This is in the color 70W. Now, I wasn't sure what shade I would be, and I feel like this actually may be dark. So we'll have to see. So now that we have the foundation on the back of our hand, and you can see that it's definitely runny, we're going to be adding the drops. So we're going to be adding 1, 2. Okay, I don't even know what that was. I thought it was going to be more of a gel-like consistency, but it's kind of creamy. So I'm just mixing it like that. I definitely feel the consistency change. It definitely feels a little bit more thicker now that I have added the drops. We're gonna just start off with this side. This one may be a little dark, to be honest. But guess what? I'm your living experiment lady. So we have the foundation on. Now we're gonna be taking a beauty blender. I'm back to the beauty blender, and that's just because I went to my local Ulta and they did not have my favorite sponge by Morphe. Everybody's like hooked on it now, so it's being just sold out instantly, and I just could not wait to order it because I needed one immediately. First world problems, I know. Okay, so I'm gonna be taking the foundation, dotting it with my sponge. That's so crazy. I honestly thought that that product was a primer. I didn't think it was going to be a mixer. I've actually never used a mixing medium. Okay, so it's covering, but I feel like it feels kind of dry. Like, I feel like when I went in and mixed it with the foundation, it started to really thicken the foundation. It's blending fine with the beauty sponge, but I feel like I need to add a little bit more product because I feel like it's not a full coverage. I mean, it did say that it's kind of like a mid coverage, so we're gonna have to see about that one. But let's just go ahead and see how this does. So we went in with everything we had, and I feel like it doesn't look bad, but I just personally would still want more coverage. Like right here, my cheek, I feel like I still see some redness. Maybe that's just me being crazy. You can see that this side, not covered, this side covered, there is a difference. So I think I'm gonna go in with one more layer. I'm gonna take the foundation again. I think I'm gonna go with that much, and then I'm gonna take some more of this mixing medium. Yeah, it's like a thick consistency. As soon as I mix them together, I feel like it starts to get more thick. The color actually isn't too bad. I thought it was gonna be way, way darker. I mean, it's definitely like a difference there, but it's not as bad. Hopefully it doesn't oxidize, because if it does oxidize, then it's not gonna be a pretty scene. We're only gonna target on the cheek area because that's kind of where I feel like I'm seeing a difference of me adding a little bit more. Okay, so now we're gonna close this up. Just, I don't know, it feels like too thick for me. And now we're going to be just using the foundation with no medium mixer because I want to see how it just wears by itself. I may like it better without this situation, but it definitely does look more matte on this side. And for this, we're also going to be using a brush. And we're going to be using our Delium Tools Precision Kabuki brush. Definitely has a more radiant finish without the mixing medium. Yeah, you can see that there's a little bit more shine peek through here than here. I feel like this side looks a little bit more healthier with just no mixing medium. I feel like for me right now, this is just looking a little too matte. Maybe it's because we went in with the matte primer and then the mixing medium with the foundation. I don't know. I feel like it may also be oxidizing because this side, to me, looks a little bit darker than this side. So I'm looking at it right now and it is breaking apart a little bit on the side where we went in with the brush. Maybe it's because the brush has denser bristles, so it's kind of like making the product separate a little bit. So I would say probably apply it with a sponge because the consistency, even when I did go in and use the product without the mixing medium, I feel like it still felt really creamy and like thicker. I feel like once I put in the mixer, it just made it super duper thick. But still, I feel like it was definitely a positive thing that the sponge, even though it did feel thicker on this side, was able to apply it nicely because it looks much better on this side. It's not breaking apart whatsoever in terms of how it's laying on the skin, but I do feel like this side does have more radiance and I can see the difference that it does make using the mixer and not using the mixer. But I just feel like in terms of what little guy I would use, it would be the sponge. This is a product that you have to build up, so if you want a more full coverage look or if you have imperfections, then you definitely do have to use 2 pumps of it at least. I used 2 pumps and it was enough, but you definitely do have to use 2 pumps of it to get a fuller coverage. But I feel like once you do that, if you use a brush, you're gonna be able to see the product kind of laying on top of your skin. So that's why I would also recommend using a sponge that kind of absorbs any excess foundation. So yeah, that's what it's looking like now. I'm gonna go ahead and finish off the rest of my makeup and then I'm gonna come back and give you guys my very first impressions and opinions on how it looks once it's set in with everything else. So if you want to continue watching, then please go ahead and stay tuned because it's going to be an interesting review. I can just see it. I can just see it from afar. Okay, so I am back and I finished my entire face of makeup. I don't know how I feel about this makeup, to be honest. Like, I like the eye makeup that I did, but I don't like how everything went on. Usually stuff goes on really well when I try foundations. For some reason, I'm not really feeling this foundation by Kokie Cosmetics. So I want to start off by talking about when I put on some powder, because I was baking my under eyes, put on powder, and when I was dusting off the powder, it was making the foundation separate, especially on this side, and I feel like it has to do with the fact that we did use this foundation mixer, which is the matte one on this side, and it was probably already super like in place and full coverage that it just made everything separate. So I would say do not powder your foundation if you're trying these two items together, because you will see things separate. I also feel like after doing that, it just kind of gave my face kind of like a super like full, like a lot of makeup on the face feel, which I don't know, I'm really, like I mentioned, I've been really into that more skin-like finish. Even like the fuller coverage foundations that just have skin-like finishes, I've been really into that, and I just feel like this looks a little too heavy and feels a little too heavy for my personal taste. Also, when I was going in with the blush, I felt like it was kind of harder for it to really show on the skin because I feel like the foundation was just laying too thick on top. Right now, I would just say that the foundation, I'm not like obsessed with it. I don't hate it, but I'm just kind of like, and I just feel like, I don't feel like my foundation or my makeup looks pretty right now because I feel like the foundation was just having a lot of issues. Even when I was kind of like doing a little bit of a nose contour and blending stuff out on the nose, everything was like separating because of the foundation. So that's just something to note. But we're going to see how it performs. I feel like after powdering the side where we didn't use the mixer, it was fine. I didn't really have issues of it really separating here. But I feel like the powder did make it look a little bit more matte. So right now I'm on the fence about this foundation mixer because I feel like so far I've seen it do more damage to this side than good. I mean, it did look nice and matte at first, but I feel like you have a hard time applying things on top. So that's just something to note. So right now it is 11 a.m. So I'm going to go ahead and carry on with the rest of my day. And then I'm going to come back at the very end of the day and give you guys my final thoughts, see which side ends up looking better and whether I think this foundation is worth the buy or not. Now I quickly want to, where's my receipt? It's in the trash can. I want to give you the price of stuff. So the foundation was $13. This is on the website, by the way. And the matte foundation mixer was $7. So in total, it was $26, including shipping, which was $4.99. And like I mentioned, I purchased this from Kokie Professional Makeup. Oh my God, this is so interesting. So Kokie Cosmetics is actually located in Beltsville, Maryland, which I'm from Maryland, so we're from the same state. That's actually really interesting. Should I like go drive to the Kokie Cosmetics warehouse or whatever it is and see what it looks like? No, that's kind of creepy. But that's really interesting that it's also in Maryland and I live in Maryland. But you know what's weird? That every Rite Aid / Walgreens that I went to, they did not have any display for Kokie Cosmetics. So I'm kind of like, you're in Maryland, but where the hell are your displays? And I'm gonna go ahead, like I just mentioned, I just got so sidetracked right now because I'm like, oh my God, they're in Maryland too. And I don't see them anywhere. But I'm gonna go ahead, like I just mentioned, again and again, and carry on with the rest of my day, and then I'll come back and give you guys my final thoughts on these two products. So stay tuned. Okay, so I am back and I am so exhausted. Right now it is 11:14 p.m. and it's just been a super long day. I think I have some well-developed thoughts on the foundation overall and just how everything looks. So I want to say that we definitely are a little bit dewy. It's not too intense. I feel like both sides are equally like the same amount of dew. I don't think one looks more intense than the other. So that's a good thing, but definitely kind of doesn't say much about this mixer because I feel like they both at the end look the same. I do though want to say that at the beginning of the day, when we first applied both sides, this side where we did apply the mixer definitely looked more matte than the side where we didn't apply mixer. But now that it's been the end of the day, I feel like it looks like it's the same product, like nothing has been changed at all. So I would have to say that, I don't know how I feel about this. Maybe I need to give it another try or maybe use less of it. But I feel like it didn't really give me like this, oh my God, it looks amazing experience, or like, oh my God, life-changing. I feel like it didn't really do anything for me. As for the foundation, I have to say that I'm really impressed with the fact that it kept up pretty well for as long as it's been on. So the one thing that I did notice was that I feel like through the day, my skin, like my texture, looked very, very intense, like very prominent. Like it wasn't something where it kind of like smoothed out certain areas or made it look less intense. I feel like for most part of the day, I was like, whoa, like you can really tell that I have a lot of texture with this foundation. I feel like for somebody that has really like smooth skin and wants a oil-free foundation, I feel like you will like it, because I feel like it'll give you like a very matte finish, but it will also give you like that like perfected, almost like porcelain doll. But I feel like for somebody that does have texture like myself, I feel like you may find yourself like, oh, this isn't like amazing, or like, oh, this makes my skin look like I have too much texture. What's something else I want to say? This foundation does retail for $13. I personally think there's better foundations at the drugstore that are $13 or less dollars, in my opinion. Like I feel like the Makeup Revolution foundation is so good. I just feel like it's better than this Kokie foundation. I also feel like the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop, that foundation is matte, but it just makes the skin look so like smooth and like you have a filter that it doesn't even matter. So I feel like it could be worth it for people that have oily skin and are looking for something that's going to really like keep the oils in, because I feel like it did a good job of keeping my oils in place. But I do feel like you have to build it up, and it just, once you do build it up, I feel like it just looks a little too like foundation-y on the skin. So that's just something to note. I do have to say though that I'm really like shocked that this brand is in Maryland. I can't believe I didn't know that. And it's so funny because in the beginning I was like, oh my God, this brand, like I can't find it in any of my local drugstores in Maryland. Of course, Maryland doesn't get anything. And then I literally see that it's in Maryland, like it's a brand in Maryland. Cause I was like, whoa, this package came really fast. And I do feel like this brand is going to be something that a lot of people are going to be interested in. I do want to try out more of their products. I'm gonna continue trying the foundation, and I will keep you guys updated, because I feel like maybe I'll change my mind. I will be definitely, like I just mentioned, letting you guys know if anything changes for any reason. So if you guys did enjoy this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Lets me know to continue doing these types of videos. And if you guys want to continue the discussion down below in the comment section, please go ahead and do so. I want to know if you guys have tried Kokie makeup. Kokie Cosmetics, what is it? Kokie Professional. I think it's just Kokie Cosmetics. But like I just mentioned, let me know your thoughts on Kokie Professional, Kokie Makeup, Kokie Cosmetics. Let me know, because I want to know. And if you're new to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe. I would love for you to become a member family here on YouTube, because I wouldn't want you guys to miss my videos for the world. What else do I want to say? I'm like so exhausted that I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Yeah, I think that's it. So I'll be seeing you guys very, very soon for a brand new video. Bye guys.